always cheerful. Nothing was ever broken. And if in fact it was broken, well, Arno could fix it. Always upbeat in his attitude, always smiling, and this during the most trying of times. The major reason, however, that Arno had a very deep sense of humanity, and his absolute goodness as a person struck a deep and resonant chord with me. If I was ever looking for a role model in this respect, well, it would be Arno. I'd always look forward to our get-togethers. We had these one-on-ones, because always in between the serious side of running the business, there was always something to be done. There was always a joke or a laugh, and mostly it's some strange South African idiosyncrasy, which we would absolutely fall over laughing about. I would often get to practice my very poor Afrikaans, mostly in unrepeatable swear words, which I won't repeat here, for obvious reasons. And Arno would burst out laughing, not because of the swear words, of course, but mostly because my Afrikaans was so poor. The conversation would often turn to talk of the good old days back in South Africa, and especially around things like braaivleis, rugby, sunny skies, and Chevrolet. We would often encounter, obviously, as you do in everyday business life, the odd problem or the challenge. And I would always say to Arno, or he would say to me, shall I say, and I apologize to all the New Zealanders in this wonderful congregation, because you won't understand what I'm saying. And unfortunately, it's not really translatable into English. I would always challenge Arno, he would challenge me, and he would say, "A boer maak 'n plan." And I'd respond to Arno and I'd say, "Ja, maar 'n Jood, hy het 'n plan." But Arno always got the last word in for some reason. And he would say to me, "Ja, maar 'n Scotsman, hy het 'n plan wat werk." I was privileged to see Arno about 10 days ago. Whilst he was in obvious physical distress, as his body had taken an absolute pounding from the treatment and the unfortunate infection, his mind was as sharp as ever, and he displayed a mental resilience and a degree of courage that was absolutely impressive. Clearly he was sick. He said a couple of things to me which just reinforced that fact. Firstly, the fact that he absolutely loved his job, and secondly, the fact that he loved Gilmore's. He was sick. Just kidding, you guys. He of course raised the question with me about whether I thought that he had made the right decision, and I tried to reassure him that he had. It's obviously impossible to know what might have been if he'd made a different decision, and of course hindsight is a wonderful thing. In the course of my visit to Arno, the discussion turned around to the fact that he had not eaten for several weeks. So I suggested that a little biltong might do some wonders. Arno's eyes lit up at the prospect. So thanks to Yvonne and Lorraine, a small pack was delivered to Arno the next day. I thought that might just give him a little bit of hope. When Arno's forefathers trekked into the South African hinterland, biltong and boerbeskate was taken on the journey to sustain them on a very long journey and away from the oppressive Engelse. And as I and we say goodbye and Godspeed to Arno, here, my friend, is a little biltong and a little boerbeskate to tide you on your journey, or as Arno might say, a bietjie padkos. So, tot ziens my chommy, tot later.
It's wonderful to have memories, isn't it? And to be reminded of the good times and the fun times. Thank you, Rob. Now is an opportunity for you to share some memories that you may have of Arno. Obviously, everybody doesn't get a turn, but if there are several people who would like to share a special memory or a special story today, we're just going to take the opportunity to do that in a brief way. You're invited to just come forward to the front here, and we would love you to share that story that may be special for for memory of Michaela, for the rest of the family, or for everybody else to hear. So please feel free to come forward now if you would like to share something. I remember Arno as a man with always a huge smile on his face. I remember sharing lunches in here. Often after a worship service here on a Saturday morning, we have a big shared lunch with 300 or 400 people. And I remember sitting with Memory and Arno one day, and he told me how much he loved working at Gilmore's and how much he loved everyone there. And he thought he could actually probably help us sort out our lunch systems better. And funnily enough, I think we did, Memory, after that. But thank you very much.
My name is Paul Reinecke. I worked with Arno for the last 5 years, and I've been asked to bring a special message from the family in South Africa. I'm not good at this, so I'm going to struggle to read this, but I'm trying. Whilst we in South Africa are shattered as you are by the death of our relation, our friend, our brother in Christ, we sent this message of condolence and bereavement in the form of a poem with which we want to gently support his ever-loving wife, his beautiful young daughter, the immediate family and friends in New Zealand. May God grant you the grace and strength to overcome the almost impossible barrier that has come across your path in life. Yours in grievance from Oma Helen, Mike and Urian Visser, Yvonne, Erna and family, Henriette Treurnicht and family, Elmarie Kleingeld and family, Liana Cooper and family, Brian and Lorraine Finkelstein and family. The Master's bouquet. The Master walked in his garden, plucking flowers along the way. He bent down and plucked Arno, one of my loved ones, to add to his bouquet. My heart at first was broken at the loss of one so dear, but the tears I shed just washed my eyes, so I saw his way more clear. My Lord has need for just this one, for the pattern he has in mind. But it's hard for the rest of us to see why we must be left behind. Perhaps we're not ready to go just yet and may need to ripen more to reach the full-blown fragrance my Lord is waiting for. To each give forth a fragrance, to each we chance to meet. We should each be trying day by day to make our fragrance sweet. So I'm going to try my very best, so to loving and kind each day, so at last I'll be counted worthy to be part of the Master's bouquet.
My name is Carol McKinnon. I was Arno's 2IC, worked with him from day one at the contact centre at Gilmore.